coming in, obviously we talked about you're only 19 years old. Who kind of was there one guy in general, or was it like a kind of a group effort with Chara and Bergeron, all these guys like that kind of took you under their wing, being a young kid, like you're still 19 years old.
Well, it's funny. I got to bring this up. It's that same game that I talked about where Riles and Thornton had that unbelievable fight. I don't know if you guys remember, but Randy Jones hit Bergie from behind.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
He missed the rest of the season with a concussion. So
I do.
I didn't really the first year, I didn't really get to play with Bergie. But I was lucky because back then, as you guys know, there was a lot more guys in their early 30s on a team. It was, I think there was more guys on that team that were in their 30s than us in our 20s, or me at 19.
Right.
And I was lucky that I had there was a lot of guys help me out, and I think, so my first line mates were Glenn Metropolitan and Sean Thornton.
Metro.
There you go. Metro. Yeah.
Another flyer. Yeah. You know what? Two unreal guys, two guys that honestly couldn't have been better for me to play with, and couldn't be better for me to be teammates with. Because me and Metro were both trying to make the team. Metro was on a PTO. Yeah. So we were at the hotel together. So and Metro was there by himself. So we would always go to dinners together, because we were staying at the hotel together. So to have an older guy like that, and he had a car. I mean, I didn't have a car yet.
Yeah.
So he'd take me out for dinner, and he's the first guy that taught me like birds in the bush and all that type of stuff. Yeah. And he's as you guys know, he's one of the best for me anywhere. So he was great, and then being line mates with Thornton was awesome, and you know what, me and Thornton really helped each other because I was a 19-year-old trying to establish myself, and Thornton was also trying to establish himself too, because that was the first time I think he really signed. He signed a 3-year one-way contract,
right?
And he was he was establishing himself as well in the NHL. He was already established, obviously, in the AHL.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's very impressive what he did. 600 games in the A and then 600 in the NHL. And he literally fought everyone.
Yeah,
and
he did.
You know what? And me having him, to take care of the big boys like Riles and Brashear and Larocque, and like they were super heavyweights back then.
Yeah.
And Peters and Buffalo. And then, I would kind of get the second guys, but we were, but I would take some heat off of him, because then he wouldn't have to fight everyone every night. But he would take heat off of me then, because I wouldn't have to fight everyone every night. So we did a really good job of feeding off each other. And he did a really good job with me as well, keeping me in check. Not that I needed to be kept in check too much, but hey, you're a young guy, like, this, you need to do this, you need to be, it's just the usual things, picking up pucks in practice, don't be hard on the trainers, you're not supposed to be on the table, all that. But then Thornton would be the first guy, to take you out to dinner on the road,
Yeah.
So he was as hard, he was hard on young guys, but he'd be the first guy to take you out to dinner on the road. And then, we had other guys too that really helped me out. I lived with Mark Stewart, who was great. I'd never lived anywhere. I was from Vancouver, played junior in Vancouver, so I was never too far away from my parents. So he helped me out with that. Mark Savard was in the building right across from us, so I spent a lot of time with him. I'd go over to his house. We'd watch hockey together a lot. I had Glenn Murray there too that helped out. And also having, Big Z in his prime,
right,
being the biggest, baddest, scariest guy in the league, but also playing 25, 26 minutes a night. It was just a good situation for me. And to be honest, I didn't really know much about the Bruins history. I didn't really know much about big, bad Bruins. I didn't really know anything about the city of Boston. So that year was a big learning curve for me. And to be honest, maybe other than Philly, it was probably the best place that I could have ended up.
Totally.
Yeah.
The way that I played,
Yeah.
and how I wanted to play, and how I wanted to establish myself. And you guys will remember the crowds back in Boston when I started.
Oh yeah, it's insane.
Like 8 to 10,000.
Oh yeah, when you first got
right, yeah.
Yeah, when I first got there, it was like 8 to 10,000,
and it was that low. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was low. I remember my season opener. They announced 13,000. There must have been 6,000 or 7,000. I remember on Tuesday nights they had college nights. If you were a college kid, all you had to do was show your ID card, and it was $10 in section 310 or something like that, which is insane to think about it. And unless we were playing in another Original Six team or you guys or Montreal, that was the only time we had big crowds. Other than that, I was like, fuck, I kind of want to go back to junior.
Yeah, right. Sell out the
well, I'm serious. We won the Mem Cup the year before.
Yeah.
Junior crowds were better than it was in Boston. I was like, what the hell is this all about? But then
it changed.
Yeah, pretty quickly for you guys.
Like I said, Big Z coming in, and then me and Thornton coming in, we kind of, and then we had a bunch of other guys with Ference, and then I said like Nathan Horn, McQuaid, Tony Boychuk. Then we get this big bad Bruin type of team in.
Exactly.
And we have a goalie with attitude with Tim Thomas.
Yeah.
And then Tuukka takes over after him. Everything. And then we get that, then we get the little guy, Marshy in the mix who who really would stir things up with everyone and everything. So yeah, it was like I said, there was no better place for me to start and establish myself the way that I could have. And it was a great 8 years, and I still think about it and how lucky I am to have had that in my life.